A long time ago, in a quiet land of green fields and rocky hills, there was a family that lived in a big tent surrounded by sheep and goats. This was the family of Isaac and Rebekah. Nearby, under the shade of an old olive tree, lived Frey the fox. Frey was a clever and curious fox. Every day he liked to watch the family from a distance as they worked and played. Frey thought their family was very interesting, especially the two brothers, Jacob and Esau. Isaac, their father, was a kind and peaceful man. He had a long beard and gentle hands. He loved to sit quietly by the tents, watching the animals and talking with his sons. Isaac loved both Jacob and Esau very much, but he felt especially close to Esau. Esau is strong and brave, Isaac often said. He's an excellent hunter. Isaac liked the tasty meals that Esau cooked with the wild animals he caught. Rebekah, their mother, was gentle and wise. She loved both her sons dearly, but she felt a special closeness to Jacob. Jacob stays near the tents, Rebekah would say with a smile. He helps me with the cooking and the chores. He's thoughtful and kind. Rebekah and Jacob often spent time together, kneading bread and telling stories as the bread baked over the fire. Frey the fox watched carefully as the family went about their days. Esau would wake up early, taking his bow and arrows, and head into the hills to hunt. His red hair and strong arms made him easy to spot as he ran swiftly through the trees. Esau is fast, Frey thought, as he twitched his ears. He's wild and free, like the wind. Jacob, on the other hand, liked to stay close to home. He helped Rebekah prepare meals, took care of the sheep, and worked quietly with his hands. Jacob is calm, Frey thought as he curled up in his den. He's gentle and quiet, like a soft breeze in the evening. Even though the brothers were very different, they were family. Sometimes they laughed together as they worked. Other times they seemed to go their separate ways, each doing what they liked best. Frey noticed how Isaac and Rebekah each had their favorite things about their sons, but he also saw how families needed to work together, love one another, and show kindness. As the sun set, Frey watched the family gather by the fire. Isaac told stories of his father, Abraham, and how God had promised to bless their family. "We are part of God's great plan," Isaac would say. Frey listened carefully from his spot beneath the olive tree. God's plan is still happening, Frey thought. Even when families are different, God loves them all. And with that peaceful thought, Frey tucked his nose under his tail and drifted off to sleep under the starry sky. The end. The sun was high in the sky over the green fields where Isaac's family lived. Near the tents, the smell of something delicious filled the warm air. Jacob stood by the fire, stirring a big pot of stew. It bubbled softly as he added tasty lentils and spices. He hummed a quiet song while he worked, happy to be helping his mother Rebekah with the cooking. Not far away, Frey the fox watched from under his favorite olive tree. His little nose twitched at the smell of the stew. "That smells good," Frey whispered to himself. "Jacob is a wonderful cook." Just then, Esau came running toward the tents. His face was red, and he was very tired. Esau had been hunting all day in the hills. He had climbed rocky cliffs and chased after wild animals, but he hadn't caught anything. Now his stomach was growling loudly, and he was very, very hungry. As Esau reached the fire, he sniffed the air. He said, "Jacob, I'm starving. Please give me some of that red stew." Jacob looked at his brother. He knew Esau was hungry and tired. Then he had an idea. "I will give you some stew," Jacob said slowly, "but only if you sell me your birthright." Frey's ears perked up. He knew what the birthright was. It was a very important gift given to the oldest son. Esau was the oldest, so the birthright belonged to him. It meant he would be the leader of the family one day and receive a special blessing. But Esau was not thinking about his future. He was only thinking about how hungry he was right now. "What good is my birthright if I die of hunger?" Esau grumbled. "Fine, you can have it. Just give me some stew." Jacob handed him a bowl of the warm, red stew, along with some bread. Esau ate quickly, filling his empty belly. Frey watched quietly from the grass. He didn't understand why Esau would give away something so important for just one meal. That wasn't a wise choice, Frey thought. Sometimes it's hard to wait for what matters most. As the sun began to set, Jacob cleaned up the bowls and put away the leftover stew. Esau wiped his mouth and stretched out on the grass, feeling full but not thinking about the choice he had just made. Frey curled up in his cozy spot and whispered, "God has a plan for Jacob and Esau. I hope they learn to make wise choices." And as the stars twinkled in the sky, God's plan for their family was still unfolding, step by step. The end. The days grew longer in the land where Isaac and his family lived. Isaac was now an old man. His hair was white, and his eyes could no longer see. He spent much of his time resting in his tent, thinking about the promises God had made to his father, Abraham. It was time for Isaac to give a special blessing to his oldest son, Esau. One day, Isaac called Esau to his side. "My son," Isaac said in his gentle voice, "go out and hunt for me. Make me a delicious meal just the way I like it. After I eat, I will give you my blessing." Frey the fox was curled up nearby under a shady bush. His ears perked up. "The blessing," he whispered. "That's very special." Frey knew the blessing meant Esau would lead the family and carry on God's promise. But Rebekah, their mother, had been listening too. She loved her son Jacob very much and wanted him to have the blessing instead. So she hurried to find Jacob. "Quick," Rebekah whispered. "Go and get 2 goats from the flock. I will cook them for your father, and you will take the meal to him." Jacob's eyes widened. "But mother," he said, "Esau is hairy, and I am not. What if father touches me? He will know I am not Esau." Rebekah smiled gently. "Put these goatskins on your arms and wear Esau's clothes. They smell like the outdoors where Esau hunts. Your father will think you are him." Frey watched from his hiding place. His little heart beat quickly. This doesn't feel right, Frey thought. They're tricking Isaac. Jacob did as his mother said. He put on the soft goatskins and Esau's clothes. Then he carried the food into his father's tent. "Father," Jacob said softly. Isaac sat up slowly. "Who are you, my son?" "I am Esau," Jacob answered, though it wasn't true. Isaac listened carefully. He reached out his hands and touched Jacob's arms. They were covered in soft goatskin. "You sound like Jacob," Isaac said, "but your hands feel like Esau." After eating the meal, Isaac gave Jacob the blessing, the special words meant for Esau. Later, when Esau returned from hunting and found out what had happened, he was very upset. "Father, bless me too," Esau cried. But Isaac shook his head sadly. "I already gave the blessing to your brother." Esau's face turned red with anger. "I will find Jacob," Esau said. "I am very angry with him." Rebekah was worried. "Jacob, you must leave," she said. "Go stay with my brother Laban until Esau is no longer angry." Frey watched as Jacob packed his things and left his home. "Jacob made a big mistake," Frey whispered, "but God still has a plan." As Jacob walked away under the starry sky, Frey prayed that one day the two brothers would forgive each other. And they would, because God's love brings families back together. The end.